All right, I'm David Palmer here at BYU Idaho, talking with the student extraordinaire. This is Jackson Aden, and he's going to talk us through the project that he did. Jackson, before you get jumping in, maybe you can just tell us the overarching research question and why you chose that question.
Absolutely. So I have some family who have gotten cancer in the past, and it's a genetic thing. It's something that I either have it or I don't. Right? It's very I don't know. It's always kind of been in the back of my mind that I could have cancer or I could carry cancer to somebody I love, and um, and so I wanted to see if there was a way to prove with data solid ways to avoid cancer. And I found a data set and I started just kind of messing with it and seeing what I could learn about cancer from what was there.
That's great. Can you tell us maybe where you found the data set? And then data rarely comes in all ready to go. So what was the biggest headache that you came across? And if you want, maybe show us the code and how you solved that issue.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this, I had to dig through around. It was nice that AI is so prevalent, being able to Google search something and it give you a couple of data sets that you could use. I used the Corgus EDU, the CSV. It was published. There was an article I found. And I kind of looked at some of the things they did, and it was published back in 2019. Um, and even though it is from years ago, it's pretty simple to kind of plug right in and mess with and look at. But one thing I did have to do is when I was looking at the race data, something that was just provided there, I had to pivot the data a little bit to get it to actually fit what I wanted it to. The way that it was kind of set up, it was there was a the things that I wanted to look at, the numbers are set up for states, and I had to pivot the data to instead be the columns being an X value that I could actually measure.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, tell us what's one of the visualizations that maybe hits hardest or answers the question best.
Absolutely. So a lot of this, right, like living, depending on what state you live in or what race you are, gives different answers. And what I basically learned from that is there's not a lot you can do. If there's like genetic things or different things like that, we don't have a lot of answers as to why certain states get more or certain people get more. But what I loved about this one was number of lung cancers per no, lung cancer deaths per state, and how if you notice Utah
Oh,
has a substantial dip compared to all the other states. So I did more research and I looked into it more, and Utah has uniquely specific laws on selling nicotine and the percentages that you can sell nicotine at.
oh,
Whereas like other states, like even West Virginia, like they have laws where you can't smoke close to a building and different things like that. Utah uniquely has the less percentage on nicotine sales. Or like when like you're selling cigarettes over the counter, the cigarettes or the e-cigarettes can only have a certain percentage of nicotine, which I found really intriguing and something that I would love to like kind of research more and understand more about. Because if laws like that can exist in other states where maybe banning drugs in other states won't see the results that we would like, but maybe decreasing something like harmful chemicals in certain things can help
yeah,
decrease deaths. So I was really excited to find that out and to kind of look into that.
that's fascinating. So if you, I think you kind of just answered it. So if you were to make a recommendation to the administrator or policymaker, that's kind of the direction you'd go.
100%.
If you had another few hours to wrestle with the data set, what else would you be interested to try?
Absolutely. I think if I'm being super honest, I probably would look for other data sets that give either similar data or more specific data on different things.
Mhm.
Um, the data set I found focused on three strands of cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, and breast cancer, which are pretty decently common. But I would love to look more into other forms of cancer that we know have something behind it. Like we know that smoking can lead to lung cancer. Like that is a preventable source of cancer. And I would love to look more into like what other sources of cancer are there and what has worked in different states and different places.
Yeah,
I guess
just like you found here.
just like I found here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to investigate that more.
Well, that's excellent. Thank you, Jackson, for sharing that with us. And until next time, we'll say goodbye.